Coming up on News 3 at 6, a woman patching together a community during a dark time. And how a neighborhood is coming together to make sure kids stay out of trouble during the summer. News 3 at 6 starts now.
This is News 3 at 6.
Good evening and thanks for watching News 3 at 6. I'm Keely Arthur. We start in Dane County tonight where a 16-year-old boy is recovering after being shot. Dane County Sheriff's deputies say around 10 a.m. the teenager was walking on Burns Avenue in the town of Blooming Grove when he was shot at from a car. The suspect drove away from the scene before deputies arrived. The teenager was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Dane County Sheriff's Department. Today marks a week since volunteer firefighter Captain Corey Barr was laid to rest after being killed in the Sun Prairie explosion. But one area woman is making sure his memory lives on. Madeline O'Neill tells us how.
Keely, thousands showed up at Corey Barr's funeral last Saturday, and more than 100 emergency service departments were represented in the crowd, not just from Wisconsin, but from around the country. A friend of Barr's and a wife of a fellow Sun Prairie firefighter is taking on a project so that's never forgotten.
It means a lot to me and my family.
On the outside, you know just from looking at this house what is cherished by the family inside.
The fire service has been in the family for several years.
Once you set foot into the Scoville household, the firefighter keepsakes just keep adding up.
Get your fire truck. Get the fire truck.
But between all the collectibles, you'll find a reminder that something is missing.
They lost a brother. I lost a very good friend.
For Chelsea Scoville, whose husband is a Sun Prairie firefighter, a lot has changed since the death of Captain Corey Barr.
He was just an overall good guy.
Even a simple daily task is entirely different.
This is every day for the last 3-4 days.
Chelsea has been getting more letters than can fit in her mailbox.
More patches.
All from different fire departments.
Columbus, La Crosse.
They're in response to her request.
To whom it may concern, my name is Chelsea Scoville.
Asking more than 100 departments that attended Captain Barr's funeral for patches.
Have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So she can start work on her most important fire service memento yet.
I have patches that are just flowing in. And it's only the beginning. These are the books that
she's crafting 2 books.
I plan to have the patches displayed throughout.
One for each of Barr's families.
One book will be presented to Abby and his twin girls, and the other for the Sun Prairie Fire Department.
After so much sadness,
this is something that is going to be cherished forever.
Chelsea wants to put a happy moment on display.
They can open it up and see all these people were here for Corey, and all these people are now here for Abby and the girls.
The patch is a tangible reminder of that as they help to mend.
It's almost like a healing.
Chelsea put the request out on Facebook as well, and that post has been shared nearly 300 times. She's waiting until all the departments have a chance to send their patches and then plans to start on the books next week.
Great reporting. Thanks so much, Madeline. Well, this weekend, Sun Prairie continues to show its strength. A special market day was held in support of 2 families that lost their businesses in the explosion. 5 other small business owners came together at Prairie Lanes today in Sun Prairie. Each vendor paid $40 per booth, adding up to $200. Organizer Ernestine Phelps Cooney then matched that with another $200. She tells us it's the least they can do to help out.
Oftentimes, people don't know how blessed they are, and things can change at any moment. And those people didn't know that they were going to wake up and lose everything. So I just wanted to do something that if I was in that situation, I would want someone to do for me.
Along with the donations of both booth fees, some of the vendors at the market also donated a portion of their profits today to the effort. We're told the 2 families receiving the funds were grateful for the continued support. Well, switching gears to weather, Karin Swanson joins us with our first alert forecast. Hi, Karin. Good to see you.
Yes, good to see you as well. We did have a few showers across the area today, and we're actually still seeing some of those on the map at this hour. There have been a couple of flashes of lightning down into southwest Wisconsin, but you can see that these are fairly spotty showers and isolated thunderstorms, and that's the way they're going to stay over the next couple of hours. In fact, I think they will turn even more spotty as we head into the overnight. Temperatures right now range from the middle 60s to the upper 70s, kind of a range with some of those scattered showers, and depending on where the cloud cover is right now, 70 degrees here in Madison, but 80 over toward Prairie du Chien, where there's been more sunshine this afternoon, 75 degrees at this hour in Janesville. Temperatures this evening will fall from the 70s to the upper 60s. There is a continued chance of showers this evening, perhaps an isolated thunderstorm as well. Tomorrow, some additional showers or an isolated thunderstorm will pop up with highs right around 77 degrees. It does look like it should turn warmer, though, as we start the work week. We'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes.
Looks good. Thanks, Karin. People on Madison's south side came together for a neighborhood party with a special meaning. Residents gathered at Penn Park for food and fun, but also to share resources with the area's kids. The goal is to keep kids occupied and out of trouble during the summer months. For the event's organizer, whose life was changed when he was turned away from crime, connecting families with resources can make all the difference.
This is my attempt to make a difference in a whole. It's not Black Lives Matter, it's not Kids Lives Matter, it's not veterans, it's a whole life matter, you know. So I'm trying to get the people to understand right now that we are here, and that we ain't going nowhere, that we're here to fix this problem.
Community resources at the reunion ranged from healthcare representatives to housing rights advocates. Another area picnic is helping people gain employment. At the 4th annual Urban League Unity Picnic, organizers are working to put 1,500 people into area jobs. With grants from local organizations and banks, the Urban League is providing training opportunities for people to develop workplace skills. The Urban League is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. The Dane County Fair continues today, and the mild weather is drawing many crowds. There are carnival rides and games, not to mention food like funnel cakes and lemonade. Horse and cattle shows took place all day in the expo halls. Today's events include a tractor pull and parade, in addition to a scavenger hunt. The experience has proven to be classic fun for young and old alike.
We're out here today enjoying the Dane County Fair. This is her very first time. And what do you think of it so far, Bee?
It's good.
Yay!
The Dane County Fair will also be open tomorrow for Family Fiesta Day, including taco and jalapeno eating contests. Crews are setting up in Madison's Garner Park tonight for the annual opera in the park. Thousands of opera fans are expected to fill the park tonight for the 17th year. The Madison Opera and the Madison Symphony Orchestra will come together tonight, playing some of the biggest songs in opera. If you want to go, doors open in about an hour or so. Feel free to bring a blanket, lawn chairs, and something tonight to eat and drink. Still ahead, it's a popular staple in the kitchen, but are all cutting boards created equal? We'll tell you which ones make the cut coming up in Consumer Reports. Welcome back. No toy has stood the test of time like the doll. Lovers of the classic toy were in for a special treat today. The Madison's Children's Museum annual American Girl benefit sale. The discounted dolls drew crowds from around the state. One family came in all the way from Australia specifically for this event. Even the event's volunteers have a soft spot for those dolls.
It's a fun place to be, and we all get attached to the dolls. I have some myself. And my granddaughter, when she was small, she got them all.
Proceeds from the sale are going to the Children's Museum in Madison, as well as children's advocacy groups in the Dane County area. The sale continues tomorrow with more discounts. Officials say that they have never received so much donated merchandise from American Girl doll in the 31 years since the sale started. Well, they are the workhorses of the kitchen, your cutting boards. News 3's Amanda Quintana and Consumer Reports has some useful tips on how to care for your cutting board to keep them in tip-top shape and free of bacteria.
One of the first questions you may have is plastic better than wood for resisting contamination by harmful bacteria that can be in raw food?
Recent research actually suggests that neither plastic nor wood cutting boards are more likely to harbor dangerous bacteria like salmonella.
One important precaution, don't use the same board for bread, fruit, and veggies that you use for cutting up raw meat, fish, and poultry. After every use, even if it's just cutting bread, wash the board in hot, soapy water, rinse with clear water, and dry.
Plastic cutting boards are really easy to care for. You can scrub them down in the sink or pop them right in the dishwasher.
Wood boards need a bit more attention. Don't soak them in water or they can warp when they dry. Protect the wood with a food-grade mineral oil, and then rub in a beeswax-based cream to reduce absorption of liquids. If despite all your efforts, your wood board still smells of the food you've cut on it, eliminate odors by rubbing with lemon and salt, then rinse and pat dry. Every few months, wash all types of cutting boards with a solution of 1 tablespoon bleach to a gallon of water to sanitize. Give a final rinse with plain water and dry thoroughly. Store upright to facilitate airflow, and you're done.
And you know how beaten up your cutting board can look after a while? Consumer Reports says replace that board when it gets scarred and treat yourself to a new one. Still ahead, one of the survivors from the deadly duck boating incident in Missouri that killed 17 is speaking out from her hospital bed. What she is saying next.
We have some spotty rain chances continuing through tomorrow. I'll have that forecast coming up next.
Welcome back. One of the survivors of the deadly duck boating crash is speaking out from her hospital bed. The Indiana woman was on vacation with her family when the boat capsized, killing 17 people, including 9 of her own family members. Omar Villafranca has more from Branson, Missouri.
As NTSB investigators collected evidence from Table Rock Lake Saturday, the community mourned the victims.
It's going under.
Cell phone video captured ferocious waves crashing against the boat until it finally disappeared underwater. 17 people, including 9 members of the Coleman family, didn't make it back alive. Another cell phone video showed paramedics attending to Tia Coleman.
And as I felt the water temperature raise, I jumped up and I saw the big boat that sits out there. I don't know what kind of boat it is. It's huge, though. And when I saw them, they were throwing out life jackets to people.
NTSB investigators say they'll remove the boat from the lake next week. Right now, their focus is on retrieving perishable evidence that could be washed away.
We'll look at the vessel, we'll look at the operation of the vessel, we'll look at the people involved, we'll look at the environment.
At least one private inspector says he warned the owners of Ripley Entertainment, which operates the duck boats, about design flaws with the fleet of amphibious vehicles. Ripley Entertainment will remain closed while the investigation moves forward. Owner Jim Madison Jr. says he's heartbroken for the families.
Anytime that people suffer a loss like that, it can't be replaced. I mean, it's absolutely devastating.
2 other victims, William Bright and his wife Janice, were celebrating their 45th wedding anniversary. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Branson, Missouri.
Those victims ranged in age from 1 to 70 years old, but some good news. 2 children were released from the hospital today. Terrible news, and Karin Swanson now in with the weather. Beautiful day here, at least.
Yeah, we had some sunshine today, just a few little pop-up showers from time to time, not nearly the rain amounts that we saw yesterday. You can see just how widely scattered those showers have been this afternoon, and that's the way they're going to stay as we head through the evening hours as well. Just some spotty showers or an isolated thunderstorm. They should become even more spotty then as we head through the overnight, just kind of rotating right around an area of low pressure that's been influencing our weather for the last couple of days. Our 12-hour precipitation estimates show that some areas have stayed completely dry today, but there have been a few pockets that have seen up to about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain, but those spots have been fairly isolated. Temperatures today topped out at 80 degrees earlier this afternoon after a low of 67. Normals for today are 82 degrees and 61. Right now in Madison, it's 70. Winds are north-northwesterly at 12 miles per hour. We have had a bit of a breeze today out of the north, and you can see some of those waves crashing up right along the Wisconsin Union Terrace right now. The air pressure is rising. Temperatures are fairly variable at this hour. Some spots are seeing more clouds than others, and other spots have seen some of those rain showers. So temperatures are cooler in a few locations. 69 degrees over toward Watertown. Some warmer temperatures off to the west. 77 in Boscobel and 80 degrees right now in Prairie du Chien. Everyone's seeing those higher dew points at this hour. That's a sign of some of that humidity, some of that moisture that's in the air right now. Winds are generally out of the north, and those have been breezy this afternoon, up to 20 miles per hour right now in Mineral Point. A few spots seeing some of those higher gusts as well, to around 20 to almost 30 miles per hour in some locations. Winds will settle down just a bit tonight, but I am expecting some breezy winds into tomorrow once again. Here's that area of low pressure that's been affecting our weather. That's going to continue to wrap some of those scattered showers or an isolated thunderstorm across the region into the day tomorrow. Then those come to an end pretty quickly tomorrow night, looking mainly dry on Monday. Just a slight chance of a shower moving in as we head into later Monday as that weak cold front heads into the region and then just kind of dissipates as it moves through Wisconsin. Temperatures tonight down to 63 degrees. We'll see mostly cloudy skies. There is that chance of showers. I think the better chances will be this evening and then turning quite a bit more spotty overnight. Tomorrow, 77 showers or an isolated thunderstorm will be possible along with some of those breezy winds. Here's your future track forecast showing those showers becoming more spotty overnight. Here comes that next little batch rotating in as we head through the day tomorrow. Temperatures topping out into the 70s tomorrow afternoon. As far as precipitation, many areas looking at less than 1/10 of an inch of rain through tomorrow, but there could be a few isolated spots that check in with some totals up to around 1/4 of an inch. Beyond that, we do have just a slight chance of seeing a shower later Monday, but overall looking mainly dry for the start of the next work week. Better chances of seeing a shower or a thunderstorm arrive later Wednesday into Wednesday night. Behind that, we cool down just a bit into the upper 70s. A couple of off and on shower and thunderstorm chances into the weekend. Better chances early next week.
Mark Tauscher is a Wisconsin guy through and through, and tonight he's going into the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame. The story's coming up in sports.
First on Fox at 9, Janesville schools are celebrating 50 years of its outdoor lab program. Why they say it's so important, coming up after the game.
News 3.
Tonight in Green Bay, Ryan Longwell and Mark Tauscher will be inducted into the Packers Hall of Fame. Longwell was the Packers' dependable place kicker for 9 seasons. He's still the team's second all-time leading scorer. And Tauscher's story is certainly one very familiar to Wisconsin sports fans. He was a pretty good basketball player at Auburndale High School. He walked down to the University of Wisconsin football team, played for the Packers from 2000 to 2010. It's a story a lot of young Wisconsin athletes hope would happen to them, and Tauscher is grateful it happened to him.
We'd play and we'd listen to Jim Irwin and Max McGee when the Packers were playing, or Bob Uecker with the Brewers. We just, we love sports, and, any downtime that we ever got, we were shooting baskets in the wintertime and, playing wiffle ball and baseball. So to then be able to go on and play at the University of Wisconsin, to play football, and then obviously to play with the Packers, I think for anyone that loves sports and loves the state of Wisconsin, yeah, it's definitely a dream for all of us that grew up here and watch these guys play, and then to all of a sudden to see a dream realized and fulfilled by being able to do the same thing. Absolutely, it's unbelievable.
At the Open Championship, Tiger Woods proclaims his 15th major title is definitely within reach. Woods got there by shooting a 5-under par 66 in the third round at Carnoustie today. At one point, Woods was tied for the lead on his way to his first round in the 60s at the Open in 11 years. He's tied for 6th, just 4 shots out of the lead. A guy who moved into the share of that lead is last year's champion Jordan Spieth, who got a haircut before his round this morning. Then he went out and shaved strokes. A 6-under 65 today put him in a 3-way tie for first heading into tomorrow's final round. It's Spieth, Kevin Kisner, and Xander Schauffele on the top at 9 under. Kisner's had a share of the lead at the end of every round so far. Kevin Chappell's 2 shots behind, 7 under. One other note, Justin Rose shot 64 today to tie the best round ever in an Open at Carnoustie. The Brewers have just started their game at Miller Park against Los Angeles Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is pitching for L.A. Chase Anderson for the Brewers. Milwaukee has lost its last 7 straight. And the Cubs at Wrigley Field this afternoon. They're playing a day-night doubleheader against the St. Louis Cardinals. And Game 1 goes to Chicago. They break it open in the 4th with 4 in the bottom of the 7th. Tommy La Stella with a 2-run single to cap off a 7-2 Cubs win. Madison Mallards have just started their game at Warner Park against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. The Mallards looking for their 7th straight win. Tomorrow afternoon, the Mallards and Dock Spiders play again in Fond du Lac. And today in Oshkosh, the end of last year's football season. The Wisconsin Football Coaches Association All-Star Games feature the top seniors who just graduated from high school. This afternoon, lots of rain in the small school game. Didn't slow down Lake Mills quarterback Ben Dunkelberger. He throws 3 touchdown passes, including one to his Lake Mills teammate Hayden Iverson. This one goes back and forth. South trails 21-19 with seconds left, but Melrose Mindoro's Victor Pontiero kicks a 40-yard field goal to win it for the South 22-21. These All-Star Games this year raised $487,000 for the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. If a player is selected, he goes out in his community, gets sponsors, they raise money, $500,000.
It's incredible, yeah. A lot of money from just some local players.
Great event.
Big number.
Yes. And beautiful Sunday ahead?
A little bit light today, yeah. Well, I think we will have some sunshine in there, but definitely more clouds than sunshine. Right now, we do have just a few spotty showers, and that's what we're going to see during the day tomorrow. Spotty showers or an isolated thunderstorm. 77 tomorrow, back to the 80s early next week.
I'm trying to think glass half full.
Half and half, right?
Yeah, half and half. Okay. We'll see you at 10. Thanks for watching.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.